What up YouTube, Matt with ASL Dumpsters here in Aurora, Colorado, and today's video is going to be a quick one about a little interior upgrade for guys that have some iDash gauges in their truck, gauges. I found a guy online that makes custom in-dash pod setups, and they can fit, you know, any basically like 1.8 inch gauge, whether it's an autometer style or the iDash from Banks like I have, or a lot of diesel truck guys have. So I've got it sitting over here in bubble wrap. Yes, that is my crutch. I've got a torn meniscus right now in my left knee, waiting for that to get fixed up. But we're gonna install that while we're sitting at my daughter's gymnastics practice, hanging out waiting for it to be done. So it's gonna go right here. I have never liked, I mean, don't get me wrong, the windshield gauge mount is super easy, it's quick, and it gets the job done. I've never had it fall off. I beat my truck, you know, it's, especially at the landfill, the roads back there are pretty rough, and I've put over 20,000 miles on my truck so far this year, just this calendar year. So I definitely use it. This gauge is, I mean, it's so helpful to know what's going on, especially with my emission systems, tranny temp, stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna install that. We'll be back. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about here. This is the piece. It's pretty sweet. So this guy takes what I'm assuming he gets stock parts, and then either 3D prints or molds or somehow attaches the gauge pod to it in the most sensible location. He also includes double-sided tape, because like with these are like pressure mounted with a screw that you tighten, and it just kind of sucks around the edge of it. This will sit in here with this double-sided tape. But I mean, overall, it's freaking sweet. And then that will be sitting up there instead of that ugly ass dash mounted one, which I have two other ones, one for my phone and one for the tire pressure monitor for our fifth wheel. So this will be pretty sweet. So I think what we need to do is first remove this panel and possibly remove this bezel around the four-wheel drive and instrument cluster over here on the left side, and I think this should pop off, because when I'm looking at this has this channel down on this side, which means I think that the A-pillar sits on to hold it down. So we'll see. We'll get into it. Make sure, oh, I've already lost one. It's in there. Try and retain all of your clips here. It's got a, so I'll show you real quick. This comes out as a whole, but it has a little bolt holding it on. That might even be a plastic bolt, but I'm not gonna dig out all my tools just to pull that out, because I'm going after this guy. So, just so you know, I'm gonna have to get some tools out. Yeah, there's one bolt. So for this piece, there is one bolt right here. It looks like a 6, 8, like that, maybe an 8. I'll go grab that and get that off. Not an 8. Not a 6. It's a 7. Little 7mm bolt. Pull this little guy out. There's, once you get that bolt out, there's two little tabs back in here, here, and here. Just kind of pull those away. Okay. Now, I think this is not going to be as easy as I wanted it to be. I think. Because, like I said, that A-frame piece up here does not want to move. Let's see if we can make this work. Of course, I didn't bring my panel popper. I just have a flathead. Doing my best not to gouge anything. Yeah. Two bolts up here on the handle you're gonna have to remove to get this out, because this is all one piece. So I'm guessing those are 10s, maybe 12s. There. Yep. 10mm. So, that wasn't too bad. Except looks like that tab right there got kind of chewed up. Coming out of this clip right there. So, you can see it in there. Just didn't want to come out, but hopefully it'll go back in fine. That's your airbag, so be careful working around this thing. That is your curtain airbag. You got some other lights and cabin lights and stuff like that running up there, I'm sure. So, but that's out. It wasn't too bad. Easy as that. Okay, so this does have a foam seal around here. You can see, like, as he was adding this and working to it, that kind of got destroyed a little, but everything is functional. The speaker, you know, the speaker outlet here, and then the defroster vent here. The texture, like the stock, like that, you know, kind of gator touch, not gator, but whatever you call that rough touch plastic is present here, but not here, because this is where he like shaves everything down. So put this through. Just make sure you get your wire in there before you run it, or before you install it. So there is, as you're feeding your wire through here, make sure, so you can see down in there, we can't see it anymore, I got it out of the way, but there's a path for that wire to go behind the vent, and then down here you can see where I have mine, and it goes down there. So just make sure you feed that right, and then everything clips in just like the factory piece did. So yeah, let's put it back together.
Now put your pinwheels back in.
So this one's longer. When you take them off, you'll see, but this one's like longer and has this pointy end. The pointy end goes down like that. Clip those back on, and then okay. Don't forget about your little 7mm bolt. Okay. Last trim piece, curve up your fuse panel again. Make sure your wire's all tucked out of the way. Alright, so before we put the gauge in, I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. That's the driver view. Everything's back together. This has taken me approximately a little over 15 minutes since I started pulling panels apart. Now, that's all that's left. Let's put the gauge in. Alright, so what I did really quick was just, you can see that wire. You can see the wire inside the vent there. I just pulled it back a little bit just to, it was kind of bunched up in front of there. I'm not like worried about melting or anything, but just want it to look as clean as possible. I think it's as good as it's gonna get. All right, done. Looks sweet. So there's your picture. I mean, this is like holding the camera right in front of my face. So that's, I mean, that is a freaking great integration. You can't even tell that, I mean, it looks built in other than the Banks part, the Banks name on there, but it's a cool piece, man. I will try to find a link to his website. He usually goes through like Facebook and Venmo, or not Venmo, yeah, Venmo, and that's how, like, I found him through a forum online once, looking around for, you know, Duramax iDash mountings. or different mounts for them. There's not a lot out there on the aftermarket parts market for 2020s and up. There's just not a whole lot of options other than the suction cup ones that come from Banks, which are fine, but I love this. This is so much better, so much cleaner. Clean up that little window area, and yeah, I mean, it's right there. Now from my sight line, I'm about 6 foot. This covers up just barely the top left part of the screen, but it's not bad enough to where it'll be like an issue or anything. You can still see it. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, there's the view from all around, and pretty clean, pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have one. Again, I'll try and include this guy's description, or a link in the description to this guy, and hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all the things that a YouTube creator is supposed to say. There, I said them. Bye now.